All right, well, here we are with your last day on this activity, the Considering Death assignment. And you've gone through 3 poems already. You have our selections. You read a selection from There by Tommy Orange. And hopefully you picked up on this. He is dealing with someone who is dying. So he's talking to, is actually his uncle who is dying. So the point of view on this one is before someone dies, someone who's sick, and what he says about being sick. And here he says that time holds us in its mouth like an owl holds a field mouse. And so you had 2 different literary devices present there. You kind of had, you have a simile, but you also have personification. And I think the personification kind of stands out a little bit more in this one. In the next poem, or selection, which is a poem by Emily Dickinson, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, we definitely have personification here. And death has picked her up because she wasn't going to it. So it came to her, and she is on her way to eternity, and death is driving her along in this carriage and taking her somewhere. So she is dead because death has picked her up. This one, The Sadness by Jason Reynolds, is about someone who is dealing with death. Someone has just died in his family. I believe it was his brother who died. And he's describing it using this extended metaphor of the idea that the sadness, the emptiness that he feels inside is sort of like someone who's strapped him down, ripped out one of his most important teeth, the pain that causes, and then the fact that it's always there. Its tongue is always slipping through that spot where the tooth used to be, and it's not there anymore. And he says that that's the worst part, is that you're constantly going to that spot in your mouth and you're constantly feeling it, just like when somebody passes away, he's constantly feeling that sadness, and he can't get away from it. It's always with him. So for the Blackout poem, what we've done is this. I've combined all 3 of those passages together in one sort of paragraph here. All right? And what you're going to do is create a blackout poem. Now, when you create a blackout poem, what you're doing is you're selecting the word, you're making your own poem by picking some of these words. You can pick as many or as few as you want to, but your poem has to make sense. So in the end, what you're going to do is, if you click on this, it shows you exactly how to make a blackout poem. So let me show that to you. And so when you're doing a blackout poem, what you want to do first is go through and underline the words that you think you want to use. So I'm just going to do an example here. I'm going to say maybe I want to use the word sick. We die because he. All right, so I'm just going to use those as my example. So first I'm going to kind of go through and underline the words that I want to use. This way I know where I'm going. Then you just take your cursor, you highlight all the way up to the first word. So sick was my first word. I highlight it up to it. Come up here to highlight color. Click black. It's going to black everything else out. I'm going to go. My next words were we die. So I started right there, I came all the way down. Again, click on highlight, black it out. Click after we die. Do because, highlight, black. And you'll go through the rest of the paper just like this. All right. So I think you get the idea of how to do that. So you're going to go through this and you're going to create your own poem. Once you're done and you've blacked out everything except for the words that you want to include in your poem, you're going to come over here and you're going to type in this box below, in complete detailed sentences with correct capitalization and punctuation, explain how your poem relates to the selections above. What does it have in common with the selections above? Is it a theme? Is it an idea? Is it a point of view? What is it that makes your poem fit this selection of poems? Once you've finished and you've typed this up and you've blacked everything out, it's time to submit this assignment and we will be done with it. So make sure you submit these, and I think we'll share some of our blackout poems when we're in class together.